It is episode 154 of Left Side Heavy, the podcast, presented by Blue Wire. It's your boy, Jevin LaFave. We got Hayden Barton on as well, as per usual. And we got a very, very special guest joining us, making his, once again, appearance on the Left Side Heavy podcast. McNaughty too hottie, Ian McNaughton, calling in from fucking Washington State, Everett.
Yes.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm at my place in Everett here. So I'm helping your international viewership. I'm helping you grow your American audience.
I love that. I love that. How's it going? How's it going down there?
It's good. It's starting to feel like spring. I don't know about you. I mean, the weather, like, it's a 2-hour drive. So it's like, the weather can't be different, but like it's starting to spring, like the weather's out. Like I don't need to wear my winter coat everywhere. Like, oh, I can just get away with a hoodie. Like, that's nice.
Yeah. It's getting to sweater weather now where the cold isn't really biting at you anymore.
No, I golfed on Friday and didn't even wear my hoodie for like 16 of the 18 holes.
Yeah.
I haven't golfed yet this year. I'm kind of jealous of that. I haven't golfed yet.
Well, to make you more jealous, Ian, I got a membership, so
big golf guy.
Yeah, and my first like single round that I played by myself, I only shot 9 over, so yeah, time to get the handicap calculated and shit like that.
Well, Hayden got a golf watch, so he's really into it now, Ian.
No, I actually took that back because I was like, damn, a Fitbit can do all of this plus more.
Yeah.
If I just spent like another $80. So I took it back and I got like full money back for it because there was no on display watch. So I'm like, oh, this is money.
That's fire.
Yeah.
So, does the Fitbit track your club head speed?
No, but there is an attachment for my driver. Titleist is coming out with it. Okay. That actually, like, you could probably use for any club. Like, let's be real, right? But you just attach it onto the side, and then you have to put in like the exact make and model. So that's why it kind of is maybe a little bit tricky. And then like what degree you're using and shit like that, and then it'll track it to your phone.
Gotcha.
But no, I'm like, I don't really care about clubhouse speed, so
no, but you have to be one of those hardos. Like, I don't know if Bryson DeChambeau is still relevant in the golf world, but like you have to be one of those hardos where it's just like, yeah, no, my club head speed was like 113 miles per hour. It's like, okay, dude, you sent it into the like rough, like you didn't even.
It's like, yeah, I'm a member here. Where you want to go is like straight down the middle. You don't want to follow me and hit like your club head speed like 115 to the right.
Yeah.
I can get out from there, but it's gonna be a little bit tricky.
You gotta start off by getting iron covers, Hayden. That's
oh no, I will never ever get iron covers, man. Jesus Christ. Holy fuck. Dude, I hate even like having head covers. Because every time, whenever like I play with Duncan, he'll use his driver and then he'll put his head cover back on. It's like, dude, is your driver like going back in your bag? And he'll pull it out in, like the next hole. It's like, what is happening?
I think I
leave the head covers off.
I've lost too many head covers. Like I've maybe had like 3 or 4, and I always lose them because I always forget to put it back on because I always just put it back in my bag. It's just like, oh well, there you go, and then you just. And then, like, you get reminded on, like, the 6th hole, like, hey, don't you want to put your head cover back on? It's like, oh, yeah, I probably do. That seems like a good thing to do.
Yeah, maybe.
I did the same thing, except not with a head cover, but a full-on club. I was like, oh, I don't have my 9 iron. It's back 7 holes. I was like, you know what? Maybe if I play here next week, it'll be there. And it just never to be found. So I guess it's one club down.
The team behind us, like, yeah, like we did see that club, but we just couldn't be bothered to pick it up. So
no, we did pick it up, but we just didn't tell you that we picked it up.
Oh yeah, it's ours now, actually.
The last 3 holes. It's actually a nice club. Like, do you want it back? Yeah, I don't mind. That is my club.
Have you guys seen like a Nike 9 iron red handle? Nope, not at all, man. Completely covering it all with their golf towel. It's like, yeah, I don't have it, man. I don't got it. All right, so we got a lot to talk to. I'm glad that you're doing well. I'm happy that you're able to join us. But I'm kind of throwing it to a new kind of thing I want to put at the beginning of every show. Question of the week. You guys don't know what the question is, but it's something whether life related or sports related. But I want to kick it off as sports related, and it's a little would you rather. Who would you rather build a team around? Um, Jack Hughes or Adam Fox? So we're starting off hot. Um, both up and comers in their position, both I'd say close to the top of their positions in the NHL. Jack Hughes is having an electrifying year. Adam Fox has a Norris under his belt. He's a very solid defenseman. Maybe not the flashiest, but he's very solid both ways. So, boys, who would you rather build a franchise around, Jack Hughes or Adam Fox?
You see, if I
Man,
could say now I work on like the business side of it now in sports, so like I could sell so many tickets with Hughes compared to Fox. The market,
that must be a pretty big factor then. I
the
didn't
mark,
even think about that.
the marketing side of it with like a Hughes compared to Fox is substantial, so I would do that. But granted, now I could sell so many more Fanatics jerseys with Jack Hughes compared to.
Oh
So there you go.
man,
Instead of spelled
Ian.
Hughes, it's spelled Hugs or something because Fanatics can't get it right.
Ian is just like the segue guy. Like he knows how to jump into the topics here. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Fanatics jersey, I can't wait for Fox to be spelled Focs.
With the
So
dollar sign, like the dollar sign S.
yeah, you know what? To be opposing to Ian, I'll go Fox. Marketing, yeah, that's tough, but I mean, at least I'll be. I think I think having like a defensive defenseman, sort of like Fox, I don't know, kind of puts that on the table for me. But he can score as well. So
Yeah, that's fair. Jack Hughes is like very electric and just a very, very skilled player. He's gonna be like top three in his position in his prime. But like Adam Fox, the narrative around a right shot defenseman is like gold in the NHL, and Adam Fox has proved that he's solid. I think what swayed me towards Hughes was just like how flashy he was, and like he's a game breaker, and he can like drive his own line. He can carry an offense. But like also Adam Fox, it's like once you have a player like Fox on your back line, it's so much easier. Your defense is like fast forwarded to being like built well, and like more solid defensemen are going to want to come to your team and play with them. But it's such a tough question because it's like, would you rather build around a star centerman or a star defenseman? And I honestly don't know, but I think if I had to choose, I fucking had this question prepped and I don't even know my answer. Stay hot, Jevin. Holy shit. Dash one for you. Um, I think I'm gonna go with Adam Fox,
let's go,
but but
Team Adam Fox.
it's still tough. Ian, are you swaying Hughes strictly for selling tickets and jerseys or gameplay as well?
Probably, I like his game as well. It depends. Like you bring up the point of having like a number one defenseman versus a number one center. I think a number one center is maybe more valuable than having that number one defenseman.
That's
Like if you could,
yeah.
if you can have that elite centerman, those are so tough to find.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's also probably having his best year so far, anyways. So Fox, at least we've seen what he can do over multiple years. Hughes is probably having his best year right now. And if it wasn't for some guy named Connor McDavid, he'd probably be the heart here. Like,
Yeah. No, it's a very good point. It's a very hard question because they're both like so talented and like creeping around the top 10 players in the league. Especially Jack Hughes is having a massive year this year and has climbed the ranks like a lot. So, yeah, it's very, very tough for sure. But as we were talking about, before we'll get into the nitty-gritty of this episode, Fanatics has come on as the new jersey sponsor for the NHL. It's rumored to be a 10-year deal after Adidas opted out of re-signing. I think that this is absolutely brutal for the NHL. Okay, what is happening? I turned it back on. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Well, anyways, Ian, I'll go to you first. What's your opinion on the Fanatics coming on as the New Jersey sponsor for the NHL?
I made the joke of like it's actually good because it means I don't have to spend any more money on NHL jerseys for the next 10 years. Save some costs there. But this kind of like I don't like Fanatics. I don't think anybody really likes Fanatics. They are just terrible with customer service, the quality of product. Kind of like the NHL in a way of just like underwhelming. Could do so much better. But yet Fanatics is a name that I guess some people, I don't know anybody who likes this, but I guess there's some people who are going to be buying Fanatics jerseys anyways.
The people who haven't had a problem with Fanatics yet.
Well, and I think I could be completely wrong. The guy who owns Fanatics, like, owns the Flyers and like, not the Flyers, like the 76ers and like the Devils. There's a notable dude with a lot of money who owns Fanatics, who owns like a bunch of sports teams too. So like, there's probably a connection that has something to do with it. But I'm not like, because with NHL jerseys, they have like the authentic Adidas, but you could also buy like the cheaper Fanatics. And like, the Fanatics is fine. I'm just not paying $100 for a Fanatics jersey. I'll pay you 20 or 30, but I'm not paying $100 for a Fanatics jersey. Like, I'd rather just pay the extra money and get the authentic than pay.
Yeah, right. And I saw a price like I was reading up on it today, and it was like $194 for a Fanatic and like $249 for an Adidas, and it's like, why wouldn't you just pay the extra $50 and then not have to go through with, am I actually going to get screwed over on this jersey? Because then I also looked in like some Twitter threads and comments and shit like that. And I saw a Jack Hughes jersey and the 86 on the back was fucking huge. Yeah. And then there was like 13s on the arms, and it's like, damn, that's tough.
It had a Bedard one, and it was Bedard.
But
like dude, you guys had one fucking job. Figure it out.
And now they're partnering with the NHL. And
now
it's be the official jersey manufacturer of the NHL for the next 10 years. Like, I mean, I just like, I'm not surprised this is the NHL and this is who they are and this is what kind of organization they run. But good Lord, like, have some standards. Like,
you got to imagine that maybe with this huge deal, Fanatics can actually
step it
hire,
up.
Yeah, and hire some people that will do their job properly, because it seems like they're just running out of a sweatshop right now. Like, and it's such bad work. And it's like Starbucks. You go, you order, you give your name, and then it comes out with like a completely random name, but it's your order. It's like, this is what I ordered, but it's terrible.
Yeah.
How did you hear that?
It's such a bad look when you see the NBA, their jerseys are sponsored through Nike, and like MLB, it's Nike as well, and all that. And then you get to the NHL and it's like, oh, it's this like beat down, like artificial jersey sponsor that people have terrible reviews about, and this is like the jersey sponsor for the National Hockey League when they were with Adidas before. Like, it's just such a bad look on the NHL. And 10 years? Bro, start with an entry-level contract first and see how they do. like, why are you giving them the max at the start? Like, it's terrible. And I just don't understand like what the NHL was going through when they made this decision.
that's kind of how I felt when the CFL got their partner with New Era. But then like I read up on New Era and it was only good reviews and it's an up and coming. And now that it was with the CFL, the New Era is a huge brand
Yeah.
and it's actually decent. Excuse me. But like, yeah, I just don't know how you go from an actual like sponsor who makes jerseys and who does things before and not just replicas to, oh yeah, we're gonna just do the replicas probably because they're cheaper.
I do think you bring up a good point, Hayden, of like, if there's any positive thing to take away from this, it's that maybe Fanatics will actually have this, boost of revenue that they can now use to make quality products. Because if this is the same Fanatics that we have seen and, we've all been told and we've all dealt with, then yeah, it's a shit deal. It's bad and you can't use it. And maybe there's the world in which the quality gets better, the product is better, and people actually enjoy Fanatics. I don't think that's going to happen. I have quite a few doubts that's going to happen. But who knows? Maybe things get better. I doubt it, but who knows?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a more or less until I see it, I won't believe it.
I just can't wait to see like Elias Pettersson's jersey says like Peter's son or something like that on his back, and it has like a different 40 from like the skate logo on the blue jersey or something like that because it's a Fanatics jersey and they just got it wrong.
That'd be awful, but kind of
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, that'd be electric, not gonna lie. Um, all right. So yeah, we'll see how that goes with the new Fanatics deal. Go to the Canucks. It's the March Canucks. Nothing new here. When they need to lose, they go on a heater. When they need to win, they go on a losing streak. It's just natural. They play for the mid pick. That's their goal every year. 6-1 in their last 7. JT and Elias Pettersson each have 12 points over that span. To sum it up, bye Bedard. But if like we gotta accept like the tank is over, like it's just done. But what do you guys do you think this isn't such a bad idea, like looking into next year if they can maybe filter out the squad and like kind of get a fresh start? Looking at it from like a devil's advocate kind of thing, like yes, we want the best pick, but do you think they're finally gelling with the new coach and they could maybe be somewhat okay next year?
No, I would have rather seen the tank.
No, I would too, but like since we know it's not happening anymore.
Yeah, reality has to set in.
Has the tank ever really happened? What if the real tank was the friends we made along the way? Like I for a real tank in the first place. I think this team is just who they are and who they've always been. And they're gonna sign some fringe level third line defenseman to like 2.5 million next year. And they're gonna convince themselves that they can make the playoffs. And like I honestly think they can. Like they have enough assets of like enough scoring, enough goaltending. Their defense is awful and they have to fix that. But like if they can figure out a way to mesh all of that together, yeah, they could be a wild card team. But let's not think like the tank was really on here at any point and that they ever like I don't know that they ever really had true aspirations for Bedard. It was more just like, wow, this blew up in our face. Who would have thought that Tyler Myers and OEL would not have been, average NHL defenseman? Who could have predicted that? Who would have ever thought?
Yeah, only everyone ever.
Yeah, like that. And like everybody knew that, but the Canucks themselves, which is what's ironic about this whole thing. It'll suck not having Bedard and not having a hometown kid, barring a miracle. But I could see this team if there's enough scoring, Demko's healthy enough, and he plays enough. If they can figure out the defense, that defense is awful. No offense, Riley Stillman. I don't know how you fill in the rest of those spots, but they could be a wild card team. I could see it. You could convince me.
It's just that I really wish, like, because in reality, I never thought we were going to get Bedard, like, at all. Like, I think Columbus, Anaheim, Chicago are just too bad for us to,
Yeah.
like, we're too good to be that bad kind of thing. Like, we couldn't be that bad if we tried when we have Pedersen, Hughes, JT Miller on our team. Like, at some point, they're going to catch fire like they have, right? And that's the thing with the Canucks is, like, we're too good to be bad, but we're not deep enough to be good. Like we have the star power to finish mid. Like that's exactly what we are, right? And I just don't think that Bedard was ever realistic. But what I'm really frustrated about is that if we were bad enough to play into the top five, and the top five is like any of the top five selections are number one in the draft if it's not for Bedard.
Yeah.
Right? So like if there was any shot like we could get like Mitchkov or like Fantilli or like Zach Benson kind of thing, holy shit, I'd be get my dancing
Nutting.
shoes. I'm a happy man. Right? But the Canucks are just even playing themselves out of that. And it's just super frustrating because with the Canucks luck, we're probably gonna get bumped down closer to like the 16th overall pick somehow. And it's just super frustrating that way because as much as Bedard is unrealistic, 3 to 6 was, but now I just don't see that. I don't even see that happening anymore.
The NHL draft is a lottery, right?
Yeah.
So no team finishing at 32nd gets the guaranteed first overall, right?
No,
No
you can't move up more than like what 10 spots or something.
spots.
Okay, so like realistically with that, I know the tank's not real, and I know players aren't gonna play to lose. Like no player will ever admit to that because integrity of the game obviously super important. But as a coach, and you're going for the Canucks, and you see this kid from your like home city, he wants to play for your team. Man, what like why do you act like you're selling before the deadline and then immediately buy? You know what I mean? Like it's just the whole part that doesn't make sense to me. Still, it doesn't. And like Jeff was saying, like any pick in the top five, you're happy with any pick. Like you're above the fucking moon if you're number one. But like 2 to 6 is like great. You can almost be a starter and put up like 30 goals in your first year, and we will be so happy with that. But then it's just like, no, we're gonna get 14th, 15th, literally the last pick before you can go into playoffs, and none of it's gonna matter.
Yeah.
Like, and with how bad it seems like the Canucks draft, like he won't even be good.
Yeah, Canucks have the most inconsistent draft, and it's like we got PD and Hughes at 4 and 5, but then we got Virtanen and Ulevi at 5 and 6, and it's like, okay, it's like we alternate years, right? It's just what's gonna happen next year.
Who did we draft last year?
Bakar Mackey, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken,
Yes.
which I'm like, I have high hopes for. Like he's another Swedish sniper that we have on the wing,
Yeah.
which like we need any more wingers.
Yeah, we need another
But
winger.
no, but like yeah, it's really tough because management said we want to retool whatever, and like management, if anything, they tank. Coaches and players have jobs to play for and to coach for. So I don't think unless you're told no, you're 100% safe throughout your contract, you're not going to get fired. I don't think they ever tank because they have pride. They have so much more to play for. Whereas
Yeah.
management, it's like, we're going to set you guys up the worst we can because we want Bedard because there's a good chance the owner won't fire us since we're already bad to get like this generational talent. Whereas like the players, it's like, I'm not going to play for this kid to take my spot. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And coaches are like, maybe they set him up for worse, but also it's like, if I'm fired next year because I don't live up to expectations, and like, I might never see behind an like
You might never be near the NHL
Yeah.
ice ever again. Yeah.
So
No,
I think
you're very, very right.
so. It's like management tanks, but players and coaches don't.
Yeah.
But I think I said this the last time I was on your podcast, Jeff. I'm just like, none of this immediately matters until the ownership changes.
100%.
Like we,
And there's yeah.
like I know we could talk about it all day about like management, players, draft picks, trades, whatever. Like we can talk about this all day, and it's great. It's good content. You know, it's engaging. None of it matters unless the ownership changes. None of it. Nothing like this like they Aquilini has gone through several GMs. He's gone through several coaches. He's gone through several captains. None of this matters because the ownership has been there through it all, and there's one consistent factor.
Yeah. You know, Aquilinis are fucking clowns and
Yeah.
ruining this city. But yeah, enough about the Canucks. They do play tonight. We are recording on Tuesday. They play Vegas, so
Are we
hopefully we
predicting?
see a loss there. Yeah, very we got blown out tonight. We got blown out last night, boys.
God damn it, Jeff.
Vegas
But
is too good for us. Eichel
blame
got another 2 goals.
blame my mom. She went to the game. It was my mom's fault. Thanks, Mom.
No, thank you, Ian's mom, because we need a loss under our belt. We need the best draft pick possible.
Thanks, Kareen. Appreciate it more often.
Shout
God
out to
damn
you.
it.
Let's go.
I wanted to totally do a spin zone on this and totally do the flip side. Because I have Demko and he's starting tonight. So I wanted to say, oh, Demko makes a 35 plus shutout. And we win 1-0.
No, Jonathan Quick stood on his head and he was too quick for us and we lost 5-2. But like, it wasn't a tough. Demko still played good, made solid 32 saves, but Vegas was just too much.
They were in it. The Canucks were in the third period. Like the Canucks were in. Like
they pulled a Florida Panthers tonight, and it was tied 2-2, and then they just in 2 minutes and 1 second let in three squeakers.
Marcia So just has our fucking number, man. What can I say? All right, let's see if that lives up to fruition. Jordan Binnington back at it again. Yeah, I got a 2-game sussy versus the Minnesota Wild, and there was almost a goalie fight. Hartman scored on him, and Binnington, for some dumb fucking reason, was out of his crease doing a little twirl with his leg sticking out and almost tripped Hartman. Hartman kind of ran into him a little bit unintentionally. And then as Minnesota's celebrating just to the right of the crease of Binnington, he comes in with a fucking BX's Superman punch with his blocker and completely starts all out chaos. Fleury mic'd up. I don't know if you guys saw that. Fleury was mic'd up during this whole process. Skates down and tries to fight Binnington. Sheds his gear, but then the linesman get in front of it. Will Binnington ever fucking realize that he's not him?
If he made like a better name for himself as a goalie, he'd be a lot more fun. Like if he posted up,
like if he wasn't ass, like if he
yeah,
wasn't...
exactly. Exactly. If he wasn't ass, if he actually like had a somewhat reputable, or he had a reputation of winning games and not losing games and fighting. Are you kidding me? Yeah, give me that goalie all day. But when his like career average is, hovering around 500, maybe even below, it's kind of like, okay, why are you fighting? Like, we get it. You're a drama queen.
Like, he'll get lit up 6-2 and then start talking shit. It's like, dude, you're skating to the bench because you just got pulled. You can't say anything. You're not allowed to talk.
He's like bottom of the lobby board in Call of Duty, and he's like talking shit to like the second or best player on the other team. And it's like, dude, what the fuck?
Like, dude, your KDR is like -50. Shut up.
But he's also that guy who like he won the cup once, right? So like he does have that like, oh, I won the Stanley Cup, blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, like, congrats. Now you suck.
Yeah.
Like you I guess if I was in that position, I would keep bragging about how I'm a Stanley Cup champion. But there does get to a point where it's just like, okay, like, yeah, you won the cup. Congrats. Like you're now bad. Like you're not, like your team sucks. You lost to the Canucks in the playoffs in 2020. How about that? Like you not
No,
that
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's like he's such an idiot. Every time I see him get lit up, I just get so happy. And maybe we are exactly where he wants us. Maybe he loves being the villain of the league. I could totally see how it's maybe just like once he gets into the locker room, it's like he's a completely different person. I wouldn't be surprised. But as soon as the media gets to him, he's suddenly a dick again. Like he could be like have an alter ego and that's him on the ice. But regardless, he's a jackass. And I think even Berube is sick of it. He's like he said multiple times in like the pressers, like, shut up and try and stop the puck. And like even Bennington can't do that.
Well,
That's
maybe
cool.
I would just say maybe this is like a spin zone of like if he beat up Hartman and Hartman got injured, he wouldn't be scoring goals against him anymore. That's how you stop the puck. Is like, of course,
You take
that's
down
like
you
that's like some real deep psychology right there. But like maybe that's what he was about.
can't get scored on if everyone's injured.
Yeah, exactly.
Starts Tim Thomas diving at the knees.
Just Tim Thomas just like leaping up and just hitting fucking Alex Burrows right in the face or Henrik right in the face in a Stanley Cup Finals. Just doing that all the time.
Yeah, sending flying knees on breakaways. Just full on UFC doing arm bars if he pokes at your pads, like doing a whole bunch of shit. God.
Absolute insanity.
Yo, but honestly, fuck the linesman for getting in the way of a goalie tilt. Like I understand you gotta control chaos, but man oh man, let's let some people have some fun here.
That's not the first time that's happened though recently. Didn't it happen a while ago too, where they broke up another goalie fight? But I could be wrong, but maybe this is also just the fact that it's Marc-Andre Fleury, and everybody wants to see Marc-Andre Fleury kick Jordan Binnington's ass. That we're all like,
Yeah.
that's also
All
part of it.
Canadian battle right there.
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I would have loved to see a goalie tilt. That would have been great. But unfortunately, the wish has to live on. We're going to Ovechkin. The fucking Russian mutant just keeps on going. He passes Gretzky for most 40-goal seasons. As Ian popularly likes to say, hot take, Ovi's good.
Yeah, I think so. Weren't they all? I think earlier Tuesday in their warm-ups, they were all wearing Ovechkin jerseys. So like that's cool.
Yeah.
They're not. I mean, they're not going to make the playoffs, I don't think. But like, it's nice to see that at least he's still like. That's all the Capitals are right now, anyways, aren't they? It's just making sure that Ovi breaks that goal record.
Oh,
That's the
Hyundai.
that's the whole purpose of the Capitals is just to make sure that Ovi breaks that record.
Yeah, and he will. Just a
Oh,
matter
he
of
will.
time.
Absolutely. It's just that's like the Capitals are not focused on the playoffs. They're more just like making sure Ovi breaks that record.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of like everyone wearing Ovi jerseys, this wasn't in the notes, but we have to talk about it. James Reimer refuses to take warm-ups on Pride Night in San Jose. He says it's a part of his religion. He says he respects everyone, opens hockey to everyone, has love for everyone and all that, but it's part of his religion that he doesn't partake in that. Kind of like a Provorov 2.0, same situation. Luke Prokop, if I'm not mistaken, Nashville prospect.
Nashville prospect who's playing for the Seattle Thunderbirds.
Yeah, and he came out and said that he's very disappointed in all the Pride Night jersey snubs kind of thing related to Reimer and Provorov, etc. What are your guys' thoughts on Reimer not wearing the Pride jersey and coming out with a statement and everything like that?
I think him coming out and saying that he's not going to wear it and then blaming it on the fact of his religion is kind of like the easy way out. And then he also says that he respects everyone and welcomes everyone to the game. And it's like, some things are just bigger than life and religion. If you really did that, then you would have just worn the damn jersey. Just because you wear a Pride Night jersey doesn't mean your religious brethren are going to look at you. And actually, you know what? Maybe they will. I'm not religious, so I can't say. But you have to figure, in a world where it's going to now, you could just wear it for 30 minutes and then move on with your life. Like, is it really that big of a deal? Like, why? I just can't fathom the fact that it's such a big deal. Like, the
I
fact
think
that this makes news, it's like, what are we doing, man?
I think it was Doug Baldwin, and it might have been other people, but I at least just saw the Doug Baldwin, former Seahawks receiver, say like, "Hey, I'm also Christian, and like this wouldn't prevent me from wearing a pride jersey." Like basically, you're just like you saying that religion is like a fake cop out, which it is. It really is. But I mean, like, just wear the like. You're not. Yeah, you're not going to be a bad guy if you wear a pride jersey for 30 minutes. Like, God forbid that you wear a pride jersey in a warm up.
And that's what it feels like nowadays, and it's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, yeah, and unfortunately, I think that's more who NHL players are, like more than they'd want us to believe. That's just who some of those players are and what they believe. But like at least James and Ivan Provorov were kind enough to out themselves. So now we all know. So now we
Yeah.
just know, like, hey, all right, you don't agree with it? That's good to know. Great.
Yeah,
Like,
because I honestly do not believe at all, or for one bit, that them basing it on religion is the fact that they're not wearing
yeah,
this uniform.
yeah. No, it's just an easy cop out. It's just an easy cop out, is what it is. It's not even a good one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because I don't think anyone knew about Reimer's religion, and like I feel like that would have at least at some point would have been like known. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a huge deal wearing the jersey, but also like as Hayden said, like I don't know what goes on in like Christianity and all that because I'm not like deeply religious, so I don't really know what would happen if like he would don it. Like I can't really say for a fact like he wouldn't be scrutinized or whatever in a different part of his life. Who knows? I don't know what he believes in. I don't know what he follows exactly, but I don't think it would have been massive for him to like wear it. I think even if you don't believe it underneath, just like do it for PR. But also like I don't think it's necessarily like I don't think this should like turn people away from like, oh, Reimer's not wearing it, then I'm not welcome. It's like no, like just because Reimer wasn't, 35 other players were wearing it on each team. So it's like just because one person is like saying it's his religion, I still think like everyone in the LGBTQ plus community should feel that they are welcome in this game, like for sure. And like I don't think a pride jersey should like determine that factor. But I think it kind of goes both ways of like Reimer should I think he should have worn it. I don't think it's a massive deal, but I also don't think that it should be the determining factor on someone believing that they're welcome in this game or not. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
But,
no, that's totally fair.
but yeah, just wanted to cover that. Clayton Keller, as of March 30, he was NHL's first star. He has 20 points in his last 12 games, 32 goals, 43 assists in 70 games, clipping that point per game period. He is absolutely on a tear right now. What do you think this does for like Arizona going forward? He's on, I believe, like a few years into a new contract and stuff like that. He was kind of like forgotten prospect in the rookie of the year talks a few years ago. And he's been kind of like flying under the radar. And he's kind of developed into one of the more underrated players in the league. He's having a massive year on a very, very bad Arizona team. But how do you think like Arizona handles him going forward? And like how do you think his career shapes out with this breakout year on a bad team?
Well, if Arizona's bad next year, I mean, he is a key trade prospect. Like teams are going to be looking at him as a scoring forward to go on if they have troubles, because if he can score on Arizona, I think there's no team that he can't score on. And my fantasy team is loving it right now.
Everything relates back to the Yahoo fantasy for sure.
Dude, it's like some of these names that we talk about, and like you see it all around the league, but those are from players that you expect to have good years. And it's like, oh, Clayton Keller's turning heads. It's like, yeah, it's been new for me, guys, okay?
Yeah.
I've been keeping a close eye on Clayton Keller, okay?
I mean, Hayden, I'm not even going as far as next season. I just think this summer they'll trade Clayton Keller.
You think so?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
who the Coyotes are.
I
That's what
wouldn't, yeah, no, I wouldn't mind that at all.
that's who this team is. That's what this team is all about. It's just like it's like the worst version of like the Tampa Bay Rays or the Oakland A's of just like, oh, you're good and we have to pay you. I mean, they already signed a contract, but like, oh, you're good and like you have some value. Goodbye. It was nice knowing.
Goodbye.
Wait, you're still in the league and under contract? Nah, we don't want you.
See you later, alligator.
But you're also putting up points. Oh, we might get a draft pick back for you. Sayonara.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else. Don't play here. Don't be good here. That's the Arizona Coyotes motto. Don't be good here.
So Clayton Keller signed an 8-year, $57.2 million contract in 2020. Or in 2019, and it kicked in 2020, 2021. He's in his third year of the deal, and he has a no trade clause that kicks in 2024.
Perfect. You trade him now. There you go. Deal with the easy piece of cake.
But yeah, I mean Clayton Keller, it's good to see him break out. He's having a hell of a year, and I I I think he stays on Arizona for at least a few more years. Um, I think they want to play him with like Dylan Gunther and stuff like that, and Michelli. And I think it's just good to see him finally like stepping up and taking that leap.
You know,
Absolutely.
he's helping, fill the 4,500 seat barn that is Mullet Arena.
I want to go there so badly. So badly. The Rangers are hot. 2 straight shutouts of 6+ goals, 7-0 and 6-0 wins. One of them coming courtesy of Yaroslav Halak, Canucks legend. How are you?
I was gonna text you and I was gonna say, yo, the Canucks should look at this Yaroslav Halak guy.
You could be a good backup for Demko.
He just posted a shutout, and the Canucks haven't had a shutout in so long.
Yo, Halak really turns into like Hasek when he's not on Vancouver. It's insane.
Oh,
It's
fuck.
crazy. But how is this just a hot streak for Rangers? Because I feel like they have everything you want on paper, but sometimes they have trouble delivering. Do you think this is satire performance from New York? Like, do you think they can carry this into playoffs and really go on a run? Or do you think it will kind of fall flat? Because the East is stacked, so it's going to be hard, and they want to carry this play into the playoffs. But do you think they might be peaking too early? Are they getting hot at the right time? What's going on with New York, Ian?
I think they're getting hot at the right time. I don't know that I would take them over Boston or New Jersey because I think I like those teams more. But this is kind of what you want. And this is kind of what we thought the Rangers were. This is kind of who we thought they were. They're like, good team, a contender in the East. They had that really slow start at the beginning of the year, and everybody's just like, fire Gallant, do this, do that. No, stay the course. The team's good enough. It'll, things will work itself out. Things will figure itself out. I I don't want to say that they could contend for the cup, but I can't yet pick them over Boston, New Jersey, because I think those are the standard. Those are the highest point. Like everything revolves around Boston, New Jersey right now in the East, and the Rangers aren't there yet. I don't think.
I don't know. I think I'm taking New York over New Jersey just based on playoff experience, and they have the experience of going on a run, and I like their goaltending a bit more. But I like the way both teams are built. I think they're electric on offense and defense. It's just I like New York's goaltending and experience just a bit better, but I still think that like if they do, which they probably will meet in like the first or second round of the playoffs, I think it's going to be more than electric.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a fun matchup. Like that's actually gonna be like I think the first round is probably the best round for the NHL playoffs. That's probably going to be the best matchup if that happens. Which, like you say, it looks like it's going to. That's probably going to be the best first round matchup that we see.
Hammer the over. Hammer the over.
Whatever it is, just hammer it already.
Yeah. Oh, it's 7.5. Yep.
Yeah, 8 games, first time ever. It's happening.
It's turned into this 8-game summit series between Canada and Russia. They have to add an extra game because of how electric it is.
Because it was so fucking good for revenue. Hell
Yeah, exactly. But hey, how do you see New York carrying on this play? Because they're heating up right now.
Man, they are Zabinajad or Jeb? Zabinajad? Whatever.
Zibanejad.
Great name, first of all. Can't even pronounce it. But like he has been on a tear. I swear every Rangers game I've tuned into, he's just scoring a goal.
Yeah.
Or he's just come off of a goal. And it's like, how? What the fuck is happening? Like you shouldn't have that long and like nicely flow of hair and be that good at hockey. I swear to God. He's just they're absolutely electrifying. Igor is finding that 2021 self or 2022 self of his, and they're just killing teams left and right.
Yeah.
I still like Boston over them. I don't know if I'm on with like you said with Ian and New Jersey just because of how young they are, but man, oh man. The East is looking just like a bloodbath.
Yeah. No, for sure. And Keandre Miller too. That's a name we got to throw in. First defenseman have a 4-point period. 2 goals, 2 assists. He's like what, second, third best defenseman on the Rangers, and he's Canucks' first pairing defenseman. Like it.
I was gonna say he's the number one defenseman on probably like half the teams in the league, if
Yeah.
not more. He's the second best defenseman on the Rangers.
Yeah, like Keandre Miller, he's breaking out as well as much as like Fox is having another Norris level year. Truba's just absolutely rolling through people, just meeting them in the neutral zone. Panarin and Zibanejad, their chemistry's heating up. Patrick Kane looks like he's settling in more and more. Rangers look like all firepower. It's just a matter if they can play more consistent 5-on-5 and everything like that in the playoffs. And it's just going to be really tough to get out of that East. But I'm really excited to see just the East playoffs in general because I think it's going to be really. The West can like fuck off for now until we get to like the Western Conference Final and see like Vegas, Colorado, or some shit. But
the East is like a genuine like knife fight. Like the East is like just super tough for anybody really, and then the West is a pillow fight.
Yeah. The NHL salary cap is anticipated to increase by more than $1 million next season. Please God, hope I need all the cap space for Vancouver as possible. Montreal Canadiens forward Christian Dvorak is to miss the rest of the NHL season for after undergoing knee surgery. The Panthers versus Habs. Florida. Franchise record, 7-goal period. They win 9-5 over Montreal. What the fuck? That's all I gotta say. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I have a story. So, Ian, buckle up for this one. So, I think it was Thursday last week, if I'm correct. And I was just getting home from the gym, and I was just about to shower, and then I get a message on Messenger, and it's our buddy Adam, and he like sends me a screenshot, or sends like the group chat I'm in with him a screenshot, and it's 4-3. And it's like, this is crazy, right? And I'm like, okay, it's 4-3. Second period, I could see that being a little crazy, but then it's like first period, 10-26. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I was mind blown. And then I just typed in like, yeah, that is pretty crazy, like I'll admit. And then I go to check my phone app, 5-3. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? And then I like message back 5-3. I go to look at the goalie stats, and I see that Jake Allen, terrible, and then the other goalie from Montreal, terrible. And as I'm ready to write back 5-3, I look at the game app again, and it's 6-3. And then as I type in 6-3, I go back to the game app, and it's 7-3. Literally in like 10 minutes. And obviously, like 10 goals in the first period is just absolutely insane. I can't even wrap my head around just how much that is. Oh, yeah, thanks. Thanks, by the way.
That's my opinion on the game. Like, just a belch
Oh
because
my
of how
God.
fucked it was.
Absolutely. It's like drinking a whole bottle of Coke or something and then just fucking
Did you hear that?
No, it was so funny.
I actually like when I've been watching hockey or trying to watch hockey, the Habs have actually kind of been like a fun team. Not good, but they're entertaining. Like I've enjoyed watching them. And part of the reason is because they get the shit kicked out of them by Florida, and they could have just like thrown in the towel and like, yeah, we don't have it tonight. We'll just call it. The funny thing in my office, anyways, that I don't know about you guys, but like I like speak not a little bit of French, but I do like the French catchphrases like, oh, parlez-vous français, or like, oh, merci beaucoup. But like, because I'm like one of the few Canadians in the office, they think I actually speak French. Like they actually and it's like, no, I'm not. And they're like, could you do the anthem in French, the Canadian anthem in French? It's like, no,
I can
no,
barely do it in English.
barely doing anything. Like, oh, you like the Montreal Canadiens, you must speak French. It's like, no, I just think they have a really important place in hockey's history. And it's like nobody
Yeah.
cares because the sport's so American anyways that nobody cares about the Montreal Canadiens. But
Yeah. Better
uh,
franchise history. Kraken over Montreal. It's like, all right, bud. That's enough out of you.
let's calm her down. Or the other one is like nowadays, like people don't even like the Habs logo because now everybody, or at least in the States, people like the Kraken logo. People will tell me that the Kraken logo is better than the Habs logo, and it's like, I guess, but like, do you know what the Habs logo actually signifies with the C and the H and the habitant? And like, I feel like I'm mansplaining hockey, which is not what I'm trying to do. No means. Do you know the context? And people don't.
Yeah. No. Shout out Montreal for sure. Um, Very interesting question. Do you think the NHL at some point, like NHL teams more so than like Bettman in the league, but do you think NHL teams will start implementing load management a bit more? Question for you guys.
Yes and no. Aren't they kind of doing? I mean, I don't want to say they kind of did that with Kucherov like a few years ago, right? Where like he missed the regular season and came back for the playoffs. But like hockey culture is so different where they just want to play as much as they can. They're
Yeah.
gonna try and play as much as they can. Um, I I'm gonna say no. I'd also like if they shorten their season. Like, I don't think the hockey season needs to be 82 games. It could be 66 games, and I think it'd be fine. But I don't think you would get the owners on board with that because you're losing like a quarter of the season revenue.
Yeah. I think 72 games or like 74 games is a good sweet spot. But I mean, like they'll never go down from 82. But I just see like players like Jack Hughes and stuff who hasn't really surpassed 55 games in a season because of injuries. And like now that he has, he's kind of like he's never played this long in a season and he's kind of slowing down. Like as we're getting closer to playoffs, like do you think they rest him a bit for a playoff run? Or like Boston, do you think they sit Bergeron and Allmark kind of thing? And I just I don't think they will, and I don't think it's a good idea because as much as you want to rest them, you gotta hockey players are weird. Like
Yeah.
they're very superstitious and they need to stay in the flow of the game in order to keep up that level of play going into playoffs. Right. And I think it's super important. And I think NHL players are stubborn where it's like, no, I don't want to take the night off. I want to play.
Mm-hmm.
And any athlete knows sitting and watching when you could be playing is the worst. It's the worst. At least when you're injured, you're like, I'm not risking that. Like, I'm not risking re-aggravating my hamstring. I'm not gonna risk playing on a lightly sprained ankle. I'd rather rest up to 100% or at least 90% before taking a go. I'm only around 60%. Like whatever. Being injured is understandable, but like when you're healthy and like it's just due to rest, when it's like you could be playing, it's the worst. And I just don't think players would do it. But I don't know. I just like it's an interesting topic that I've been like kind of seen thrown around. But I also don't think owners or GMs would like it because it's like I paid you 8x8 and you're resting. Like fuck off, go play and make your money, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Hayden, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean that's such a tough conversation to have, right? Because it's like, yeah, I paid you this money, but it's also like I paid you this money to win championships,
Yeah,
right? Like I don't want you injured, but I want you to fulfill your contract. But then again, it's like that's not really that fair because why risk an injury to, one of your best players and then you guys lose? And it's like, oh, okay. Well, do you just care about money or do you actually care about winning? That all depends. And whatever you're going to go with is probably the wrong answer, depending on whoever you ask. So you're really stuck between a rock and a hard place. But in the end, I feel like if you're in a comfortable position enough to, sit guys, I think that's like always the option because risking injury is like not it's not as important as winning one extra game in my opinion,
that's fair.
especially if it's meaningless.
That's fair. I think I could like maybe understand it in like the last quarter of the season. But if you're like resting in game 18, it's like, hey, fucking get out there. But if it's like game 72 and you have the division locked up, I could see Bergeron taking a game off.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I
also,
could see that.
And schedule too. Like, what's your travel? Like, if you got a back to back or whatever, if you got like Boston Buffalo back to back or whatever, you could take the second game off possibly too. Like, you know, not saying that each individual situation is different, but like it depends on what game are we taking off? What game do you need to rest for? Why do you need to rest? Like,
yeah,
I think context is important and is key when making a decision like that.
yeah. Or even like when the Canucks had like a 3-game homestand, one game in Seattle and back at Vancouver. It's like, well, do you know what, Bergeron? Like, don't bother coming to Seattle or whatever. Just like stay back here and like take the game off or whatever. There's no sense in you coming down for like a such a random away game, right? Like maybe situations like that, but yeah, who knows? It's gonna be interesting to see how the next few years, because with like training and everything like that, and players wanting to play less games, I could see them maybe like just sit and do the rest. But I think it would only really happen in like game after game 65, players would start taking games off, because it's even harder now. Like in the East, you got like the Islanders, Pittsburgh, Florida, and Washington battling for that wild card spot. And you see Crosby taking a day off. It's like, fuck, dude, we're playing for a playoff spot here. Like, you can't be doing this.
Mhm.
But like, if you see Boston and like Allmark's like, nah, I'm not gonna play on the road 2-game road trip. I'm just gonna stay back in Massachusetts. It's like, okay, understandable, because Swayman just got 2 back-to-back shutouts. I'm sure we'll be fine with him, right? So,
But that's just it. Context is key, right?
Yeah.
Like they're different.
yeah, no, 100%. But yeah, Bruins are fucked. Swayman back-to-back shutouts. I'm sure Boston will be fine with him in net. Just back-to-back shutouts, and he's their backup. We have Colin Delia, who like hasn't first time NHL ice in like fucking what feels like 2 years. Just Boston is just, there's something else right now. McDavid clips 130 points, 58 goals. Do we think he hits 60?
Yes. I'm gonna put my money on yes, he will, Jevin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot take.
I say he
McDavid's
does.
good.
What?
I say he doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know he'll do it.
Yeah.
He does it. Yes.
Okay, now the big bet. Does he do it tomorrow?
Where are they
Yeah,
playing tomorrow?
That's the real question, isn't it? It's like, yeah, he'll do it, but when? And will he do it in the next game?
Let's see. He is playing Arizona tomorrow.
Yo, AZ though, sneaky good. I can see Edmonton losing tomorrow.
Did you see their game against San Jose on Monday?
It's fucked.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Wasn't there 4 combined goals disallowed?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, and about 3 of them were pretty fucking awful.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, Jack Campbell was in that. Okay, so
I was watching that game. I was watching feed. I don't know. I don't know if this will make sense for you guys or like your listeners, but watching the Oilers broadcast feed is like watching like the Fox News equivalent of the NHL.
What are you talking about?
Oh, those guys are such homers. Those guys are such bias. Where like one of the guys in the intermission is like, you know, you really got to give it to Jack Campbell for standing in there. It's like, no, you don't. You really don't have
the color commentator. Okay, every NHL color commentator I've ever heard so far, they just ride the Dick's team or their home team sticks. I will 100% agree with that. But Edmonton's play-by-play caller, I actually really like him. I think he's very electrifying, like on both sides of the coin. Like he'll go back and forth, and he'll say like, if another team, like let's say like Keller tomorrow scores a nice dangle goal, he's gonna like totally fucking say that. Whereas the color commentator will just be like, yeah, that was a pretty easy goal. I mean, I can't say anything about it. It was good passing, wide open. You got to score that.
Like maybe it's the guy I was listening to in the intermission, but it was just like, yeah. Okay.
And again, like intermission analysts are like different than the play-by-play guys, like
very
at some points. And intermission guys can be like if you have Satyar Shah, Ian McIntyre, and Dan Murphy on the Canucks intermission, there's a decent chance they're going to be a little bit more homer to Vancouver than to the Dallas Stars or something. But like John Garrett, he's more homer. He's more homer than Homer Simpson. Like it's pretty bad. But like John Shorehouse, to like allude to Hayden, is like he's a beauty. Like I think.
Oh, absolutely. Love Shorty.
I think he's the most underrated announcer in the league. But yeah, like John Garrett is just, oh my God, everything. Like there'll be a snipe from Jason Robertson over Demko's blocker, and it's like, well, Demko was screened. It's like, no, he wasn't. No one was actually in front of him.
Nobody in front of him, but yeah.
Phil Kessel just scored on the first shot for Vegas, so.
Well,
God damn it. No shutout.
just
just a little call.
I don't, and you know what's funny too is like like living in the States and like watching hockey in the States. It's so different compared to watching hockey in Canada, where like I don't know how to describe it. Where like in the States they're selling entertainment, and in Canada they're selling hockey. And God forbid you mess with hockey or you ruin hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've enjoyed it so much. What like watching it and like not thinking about the Toronto Maple Leafs. I literally do not think about. I do not hear or think about the Toronto Maple Leafs at all being down here. It is wonderful.
What a life.
Oh, yeah, everything up here filters towards them.
Yeah,
That's like I don't even hate anyone on Toronto. I just hate Toronto because of the media. Like the media makes me hate them.
everything goes
Which
back to the Maple Leafs, and it's just
yeah.
like here. At least I'm in the Seattle area, so like people talk about the Kraken, but it's more of just like, oh, the Kraken. Like they're just like this team's kind of cool. Like this
Yeah.
like nobody nobody has any real like hardcore like you know screw Jared McCann because he didn't do this back check. Da, 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 da. It's like no, they just lost. It happens. They'll get him tomorrow. It's so much nice.
Oh man, yeah, that would be lovely up here for sure. Last note, or at least two more. The Avs are getting hot as well as the Rangers. McKinnon is just when healthy, he's a top 3 player. Um, do you think they can go back to back?
I think I said that at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I think you did.
I think I had Colorado Tampa, which like I don't know about Tampa, but like I can see it with Colorado. The West is so wide open. We talked about how the West is a pillow fight. I could absolutely see Colorado go back at least go back to the finals. I'm not sure about repeating, but at least go to the finals.
Yeah,
Best team in the West.
because I think when healthy, ugh, like they're so fucking good. And like it's
They
not,
I was gonna say they traded for Jack Johnson, right? That means they're all in.
yeah. And Lars Eller, who has like 1 point in 23 games or something like that.
Yeah,
Beast.
that's putting all your chips in. That's
Yeah,
that means.
yeah, all in. Um, Hayden, quick, do you think they can go back to back?
Uh, yes, only for the reason because in the East, whoever comes out of that might be so fatigued it's not even funny.
Yeah, true. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's a fucking dogfight. Speaking of the East, last point here. Who gets the final wild card spot? It's right now kind of like a battle between the Islanders, Pittsburgh, Florida, Washington. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Islanders and Pittsburgh hold the last 2 spots with Florida and Washington just 3 points outside. Um, how do you think this shapes out, boys? Tristan Jarry is like a fucking diabetic back there, and Pittsburgh seems like they've bought their ticket to they have their ticket to their downfall right now, and Florida's kind of heating up at the right time. Washington, I don't know about them. I think they might just like kind of wait for someone to make a mistake and they might pounce. The Islanders seem to be holding steady, but what do you guys think of the final 2 wildcard spots in the East?
Well, the wild card spots right now, Jeff, are actually being held by the Islanders and the Panthers.
Oh, my mistake.
Pittsburgh and Washington are on the cusp of not making it. I think if Pittsburgh doesn't make it, that'll be like 16 years in a row for Pittsburgh not making the playoffs, which kind of crazy.
Like the streak of them making the playoffs is over.
Yeah.
Okay. It sounded like they're keeping up a 16-year streak of not making the playoffs. I'm like,
Okay.
that's
My bad.
What it sounded like at first. I was like,
Yeah, I don't think that's right, Hayden, but okay.
Yeah, that's not the right stat. Complete opposite, but
yeah, exactly. Complete opposite. So you get what I'm saying. Pittsburgh's good. So I mean, I have to imagine Florida losing tonight. That's kind of tough, especially to Philadelphia.
Oof.
But I don't know, Florida's firepower, it's so good that it's bad. And I mean, I don't really say anything bad about Florida because Brovsky, I think he started like the last like 9 of 10 games, and it's like the first start from their backup. And he like we talked about it. He let in 3 goals in 2 minutes, and they finished the game like 6-3. So say what you want about that, but I like Florida, and yeah, I guess I mean you got to go chalk with the Islanders. So I'd say it's how it is. The Islanders and Panthers close out the final 2 spots in the East.
Yeah, I got the same thing. I'm not gonna like sound like a broken record. I agree with you. I think Florida's heating up right now, and I don't know. I think Pittsburgh is just so hard to trust right now. Their goaltending is just not there. Whereas like I think Florida, like their firepower is a little bit more on on beat right now. And Washington, I just don't think they have that extra tank to go. I don't think they have that extra gear to push. So I think it's gonna stay put the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Not so fast. I will say the Pittsburgh Penguins get in. I'm not going to bet against Crosby, Malkin, and Letang.
That's fair.
Those guys are actually having I'm pretty sure like they have had a fairly healthy season too.
Yeah,
Which is
it's
probably,
just Jari is like their
yeah,
goaltending has been the only like inconsistent part.
yeah, and that's what's shitty about this whole thing. It's like they're actually getting healthy seasons from their franchise best players, and they just have awful goaltending.
Yeah. I saw this stat, not about Pittsburgh's goaltending, but about Demko and like Vancouver's goaltending. They've had this season they have an 8.80 save percentage, which is brutal, right? Demko has a career average 9.10 save percentage. If the Canucks got Demko's average save percentage this season, Canucks goaltending in general, Dalia, Martin, Demko combined 9.10 save percentage, they would go from 27th in goals against to 10 if they just got their average. That's how bad our goaltending's been, and we would have allowed 64 fewer goals if we just got a 9-10 average between the three of them. Isn't that fucked? Like that just shows you
That's
how
bad.
bad our goaltending was. It's terrible. All right. Devin Levi for Buffalo signs his ELC. He was a Hobie Baker finalist this season. So Buffalo just like finds another gem. Hopefully, he was great with Canada in the World Juniors when they lost to the States in the finals or the semifinals. No, it was the finals. Um, but yeah, Hayden. I don't know if you guys have any more notes on the NHL, but that's all I got for that right now. And let's go to some NFL free agency news if you guys don't have anything else. All right.
Nothing from me. All right. Yeah, so the NFL free agency continues. Obviously, a lot of the bigger sightings have happened, but there's also been a lot of I'd say substantial signings and some pieces moved. So I think with like the biggest one, Jeff's Pats signed Juju Smith-Schuster for the exact same contract that Jacoby Myers was given to the Raiders. Say what you want, but I mean that cryptic tweet, Jeff. How do you feel about that one?
Yeah, I mean like on par receivers, I think. I think like people are blinded by Juju's like rookie season when he was like absolutely outstanding, but I think since then it's like he's kind of fallen flat and just been an average wide receiver too, which is I think what Jacoby Myers could be. Um, but I don't know. I think it's like I would have just liked to bring Jacoby back because I liked Myers, but I think like they're kind of two different receivers in a way. I think Juju's more of a run after the catch, whereas Jacoby Myers is a route runner and like almost catch at the sidelines kind of receiver, where he's more possession. And I don't know, like I'm excited to see what he can do for Mac. I'm thinking like Juju might be more of like a slant and run after the catch kind of guy in Pat's system. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like I kind of would have rather just like brought Juju back. Oh my God, fuck this camera, dude. Um, but or I would have rather brought Jacoby back. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens, but for the same money, I think it's kind of a low blow. Like kind of like what Myers tweeted or
Yeah.
quote tweeted.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Ian, what about you?
I I want to see the Patriots run an offense without Matt Patricia and Joe Judge running
Well, Billy O'Brien,
it.
obviously bigger name than either of those guys.
So yeah, I mean, maybe Juju will be more effective in that offense, and Mac will be more effective just because they have a coach. Um, I like Juju. I think he's a good weapon. I'm curious to see how he like Jeff says how he is used. If he's a
Mhm.
slot guy, if he's a blocker, I don't know. He's going to get the outside. He's not much of an outside guy. Not winning a whole lot of one-on-ones. Could
Yeah.
have probably would have been better to keep Jacoby, but
Yeah, I think integrity would play a bigger part with between those two because now obviously Schuster's gonna have to learn the whole offense and he says he's excited because it was the force that he got to play for Bill Belichick. It's what drove him towards New England. But it's also the thing that drives people away from New England if they don't really mesh with it. So it'll be interesting. I like the move. Definitely needed a receiver after not getting back Myers. So I think for what they had, this was a good move.
Juju just now has to make a TikTok with Bill somehow.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Bill just
plus
stands there saying
plus one
on what's that?
plus 175 on FanDuel to bet if Bill Belichick in a TikTok with Juju.
Oh my
Those are
god.
great odds, to be honest.
The under minus 5,000.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Big day for me, guys. Sorry about that. But anyways, moving on to uh kind of chronologically here. The Cowboys, after releasing Ezekiel Elliott, signed Ronald Jones and re-signed Dante Fowler. Obviously, Dante Fowler, he was a one shine prodigy in the light. Now I don't know what he is, but I mean Ronald Jones now backing up Tony Pollard. It's not a bad backup.
I don't think he's terrible. I think Ronald Jones is decent in a limited role. I don't know if he's like he had like a lot of troubles like maintaining the football in Tampa. He would fumble often, and I just think from there he wasn't really given much more of a chance. But he did. Ronald Jones had spurts of like stardom in Tampa, and
Mhm.
there was really bright flashes from him, and then all of a sudden it just fizzled away like Thanos in Infinity War. Like it was just it went away so quickly, and the next thing you know, it's like he's being scratched, he's being healthy scratched, he's being released. It's like what happened? He was doing decent in Tampa, running for like almost 900 yards and stuff like that. Like I thought he'd be a lot better. So I'm excited to see what he can do in like a backup role in Dallas. I think it could be good for him if they kind of run it similar to what Pollard's usage with Zeke. Like I think Ronald Jones could be decent.
And that's what I think it will be, just on a cheaper deal.
Yeah.
Ian,
Like
are you hearing the buzz in Seattle for all the Dallas Cowboys fans?
I'm off the Cowboys, by the way. I don't know if I've told this. I'm done with the Cowboys. I'm
I
done
don't
with
know when you were ever on with the Cowboys.
yeah.
that. Yeah, I'm done with all these guys. Like this team is I'm selling. You guys can buy all of my Cowboy stock.
I'm okay.
No, I already bought your blue stock at the beginning of the year, and that came and bit me in the face. So
But you also bought my Kraken stock, I hope.
I did like halfway through the season.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't at the beginning of the year though.
No, I don't really trying to put this nicely. I don't really care what the Cowboys do because they're just gonna lose in a divisional round anyways. Like Rojo's not a bad back. there's a lot to like about his game. Same with Dante Fowler, decent edge rusher.
Yep. They're
Oh
still
well,
gonna lose in the divisional.
you're gonna lose in the divisional round because you have a coach who's terrible, and you have a quarterback who is not top tier,
And now you don't have Kellen Moore.
and you don't have Kellen Moore. So there you go. Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah. It's kind of tough.
Zeke's last play was a solo block.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah.
I saw
Tough
that
last
video
play.
and it's like, imagine that being the last play of your like career for that team. So, okay.
That's like Brady's last pass as a Patriot was a pick six. It's like,
Yeah, it's just all-time bad play.
just a big fart.
Speaking of like going chronologically news, I don't know how this didn't like pass me. Donta Hightower announces retirement.
Yeah, I heard that.
Fucking hell.
Oh, I don't think Jeff heard that.
No, I didn't see that.
That was literally today.
I was flipping pies all day. That's why.
Oh my God. Yeah, at 10:23 a.m.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
I was just clocking in for work there. Must have missed it.
I was in my staff meeting then, so I probably should get off my phone at work.
Yeah, I agree.
I was surprised I didn't see that. I don't know how I didn't. But I mean, I understand. I mean, like he's getting up there in age, and like I don't know if I
What
feel
does he
like
have left to prove in his career?
he's already
Three-time
been,
Super Bowl champion.
he had one of the plays of like one of the best, more underrated plays in Super Bowl history, stopping Lynch at the goal line.
Well,
Like
there's the stopping Lynch play. There's the strip sack on Matt Ryan, and there's that Super Bowl against the Rams, where like that was just a defensive slugfest, and the Patriots defense was just that fucking good.
Yeah, like he's getting up there in age. I seen what the Jets are potentially doing with Rodgers, Dolphins are doing, the Bills are doing. Like it's going to be really hard for New England to become that winning team that he was a part of for so long. And I feel like it's just not worth it to him to go to a different team and like compete for a new position and learn a new system and run the risk of like doing it for no reason to not win a ring. I understand him hanging it up, and it's like it's unfortunate to see because some of our best defensive players ever to wear a Patriots uniform, and McCourty and Hightower retire in the same offseason. It's tough for the defense for sure, but I kind of understand it from two absolute legends. It's like just hang it up now when it's like you're not on the complete decline in your career. Like don't become a liability and then retire.
Mm-hmm.
Retire when you're still like have some juice left in the tank and people will remember you as still a very solid linebacker. So shout out Hightower. He's one of the Patriots legends, and he's gonna live that on for forever.
Agreed.
Sad to see him go though.
Oh, 100%. Aaron Rodgers situation is still going on. I mean, I'm done talking about this until he makes a decision. So I don't know if you guys want to give any input on this, but like I could not give less of a shit until a decision is made final.
Well, I mean, like a trade is like he said that he's plans on playing for the Jets. Like he's made a decision. It's just a matter of what are the Packers going to get back for him? I think that's what they're working on. So I think
but like how fucking long does this take, man?
Depends how stubborn Green Bay is. Like it's
fucking hell. They have literally zero leverage now. Rodgers has said, like, I don't want to play for them anymore. I want to play for the Jets. Green Bay has zero leverage. It's like you gotta trade him no matter what. Yeah. The Jets are willing to pay his salary. Just fucking get like I don't even know what you would take for a man like Aaron Rodgers right now. Like
exactly. That's why it's taken so long.
A third or a fourth, but like that can be talked out within a day, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm just done. Ian, how do you feel about Rodgers?
It's gonna be so cool when he goes 7-10 with the Jets next year. No, I if I'm Green Bay, I'm not in any rush. The thing
Ugh.
here's the best thing about this. The best thing about what Green Bay has going for itself is that the guy that Aaron Rodgers wants to play for is the New York Jets. And do you know how dumb that organization is, the New York Jets? That organization will probably give up a first rounder, maybe another first rounder for Aaron Rodgers because they are the Jets and they are that stupid and they will just give up whatever to get this guy who is definitely on the back nine of his career and probably never going to repeat as who he was in his prime.
Yeah.
And Green Bay probably knows that, and they're probably like, look, the season doesn't kick off for another fucking like 5 months. Like, we'll trade him in August when the Jets get more desperate towards training camp. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, I feel like Green Bay the Jets will be like, okay, fine, we'll give you that first round pick, top 12 protected or whatever. And Green Bay's like, all right, thanks. That's what we were asking for from the beginning. So I'm glad we
Yeah.
finally squeezed it out of you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I feel like that's what Green Bay's doing. Like, they probably um took the Michael Scott initiative and said, always say no to the first offer. And they probably said no. And then the Jets maybe just haven't revisited. But yeah, I don't know. I
Here's the
don't know
thing.
what's gonna happen, but like the Aaron Rodgers can say all he wants, but nothing's finalized until Green Bay says yes to an offer. So there's probably a 40% chance, in my opinion, that we see Aaron Rodgers in a Green Bay uniform next year.
And what are the Jets going to do? Go into next year with Zach Wilson as the starting quarterback?
I mean, if they don't get Rodgers,
And then the fan base is going to be ecstatic that Zach Wilson is back? No, they're not going to be happy. They're going to be like, great. This guy is back. No, the Jets are going to have to make this move at some point here. And probably like Jeff said, they'll probably do it in the summertime when they get more desperate and they can reach, it's going to be probably some weird like NHL type thing of like, yeah, top 10 or 15, top 15 protected first round pick, and then this guy and that. And it's
And then
just
like a third string center and then like a weird like kick returner or some shit. It's like,
yeah,
okay.
classic. That is classic. Green Bay get back trade there. Yeah, I don't know. I just like if the Jets give up a second rounder or better for Rodgers, Green Bay's already won this trade.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but that's it's the Jets. They will. They're going
Yeah.
to.
Oh, please, Jets, don't Jets it up.
One thing,
Oh yeah.
the video of Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, and what's the other
Sauce.
receiver? Yeah, Sauce Gardner. That video of them like burning the cheese heads to get Aaron Rodgers. I saw someone tweeted be like, "This is gonna be so funny when they're part of the trade package going back to Green Bay."
Oh fucking hell.
They're like, "Yeah, Rodgers is coming." It's like 2 seconds
Yeah,
later, Garrett
Yeah.
Wilson gets a phone call. It's like, wait, what?
you guys are headed to Lambeau.
And
Fucking hell.
it's Jamal Adams, like his like pass doesn't scan at the door. It's like what they traded that.
It's like, damn, I didn't know it got traded. That's so funny.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Austin Eckler. He is apparently relentlessly pursuing an opportunity for a better deal. I mean, like, go and get that bag. You've proved it. If the Chargers aren't going to give it to you, tough titties. But it's like, it is the Chargers and nothing's changed. So if you have an opportunity to go to a better team or at least make more money, I'd say do it. But who knows where that better opportunity is going to come from?
It also sucks though because like I have a soft spot for LA because I'm a Herbert guy. And it would have been cool to see like Eckler and a Kellen Moore offense. Like I think like that would be kind of cool to see. But I mean, I think we talked about this last episode about Eckler's whole trade
Yeah,
shtick, so we won't kind of go over it too much unless Ian has something to say. But yeah, I understand as a running back, your career is only so long, right? So if you have the opportunity to make more money, go take it.
agreed.
But I understand it from a player's perspective, and I also understand it from LA's. He's been hurt a few times, hasn't been able to handle a full season, but he's solid. So I mean, like if he can get a good package for him, why not? Running
Do it.
backs are the turnover rate for a running back is pretty high, so you'll probably find
100%.
another Eckler in the draft.
Yeah, Ian, any quick note on this one?
Not really. I mean,
Okay, next point.
I don't know. I mean, like, he's a great fantasy back. He's arguably the Chargers' best offensive weapon.
If you're
Yeah,
excluding Herbert, yeah.
I should say, like, not like throw passing
like
target.
skill player.
Skill player. Yeah,
Yeah, that's he's probably their best guy,
agreed.
and it is what it is. Sometimes you just need to change the scenery. Sometimes both sides just need to change the scenery, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll work out for the best, I'm sure.
Wait, you're
Oh
telling me
yeah.
both their aging, slow route running receivers aren't their best weapons?
No, and neither is their oh, Gerald Everett still a tight end there too.
I don't know. I know Donald Parham isn't going to be though.
All right, we've hit the Donald Parham part of the podcast. We got
We gotta move
on.
All right. The Lions make a huge splash in the safety column and sign former Eagles, former Saints, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, for a 1-year deal, $8 million, 6.5 fully guaranteed. It's funny because Saints Twitter is going absolutely just nuts, laughing in their face. Like, yeah, you got 6 picks, but it's like you're still making well below league average. Like, and then he just has to go up and talk and say like the Lions are better than the Eagles, which Lions are good, but they're not that fucking good.
I think it's a win-win. Detroit get a decent safety under league average, and Gardner Johnson gets to play under Dan Campbell defense. I think it's a win-win, in my opinion.
I think it's definitely a win for the Lions. But not for CJ. I feel like he could have went somewhere else, and maybe played on like a lesser deal, but maybe for a more better contending team.
Yeah.
What what if I told you that I think the Lions might actually be like the third best team in the NFC next year?
Well, I mean, that's not that hard. You got to beat out the NFC East, which is the Eagles. The NFC North is pretty much theirs for the taking. The South, I mean, I don't want to sound like a homer, but I mean, how can you not say the Saints maybe run away with it? And then the West is the 49ers.
No, you're forgetting the Seahawks.
Oh, the Seahawks and 49ers are like interchangeable. But I could totally see it because it's like, what are the 49ers going to do at quarterback?
Ever heard of a Sam Darnold?
Oh my God, fuck off. The North is like, is Jordan Love going to be really that good? The Vikings, like
49ers are going to somehow dig deep into the bag for a fifth string quarterback to play. It's going to be
still be good.
yeah.
I honestly
Just throw screens to Christian McCaffrey and then get nominated for Rookie of the Year.
There you go.
Christian McCaffrey is going to be the quarterback for the 49ers next year. No, I actually like the deal. I think the Lions are going to be really good. Honestly, like the one thing that worries about me as the Lions is the quarterback.
I like Goff in that system.
Yeah.
I think Goff and like Campbell have a real connection.
I do too. I just like it's a difference between like being like a divisional contender and a Super Bowl contender.
Very true.
That's like the one thing. Like otherwise with the Lions, I really like what they're doing. But that's like the one thing. Like if you want to, they're probably chalk picks to win the division next year. Like deservedly so. They have a team to win a division. If you want to win the Super Bowl, like if you want to go play in the Super, which is really weird talking about with the Detroit Lions. Like if you genuinely want to go play in the Super Bowl next year, it's
Yeah,
the
there has to be a big step up in quarterback, but I don't think they're gonna do anything that drastic.
no, I don't think they are either. But that's just like that's the one thing. If I would make that change, that's all I would say. But I could see why CJ wanted to go play for the Lions compared to the Eagles or insert other team here.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Do they have LA's first round pick this year?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah,
So what pick is that? Like 6th overall? Wasn't LA really fucking bad this year?
they were
Yeah,
really bad.
yeah,
So
they're
so who knows? Maybe they like package that in their own and maybe get into like the top 4 and maybe draft one of the rookies coming out. Maybe from Florida. What's his name again? The
Anthony.
athletic freak.
Richardson.
Who knows? Maybe if Carolina doesn't take him and then maybe it goes Stroud, maybe they can get their future, play a couple more years with Goff, develop the young guy, and maybe that can be their splash for their future.
Could
Who
be.
knows?
Could be.
I don't hate that.
A couple quick notes because it's kind of slow. Former Panthers Patriots quarterback Cam Newton announces that he'll throw at Auburn. That was today. He also quoted saying that there isn't 32 NFL quarterbacks better than me, but last time I checked, there was 32 starting NFL quarterbacks starting ahead of him. So he's right. Maybe there's 38 that are better than him right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like, yeah, there's not 32, there's 35.
Yeah. Like I take a lot of like backup quarterbacks right now over Cam Newton just with his shot arm and shit like that. So
Andy Dalton or Cam Newton? Who you starting?
fuck, at least Andy Dalton played last year.
Maybe that
I
should have been the question of the day.
wanted that Bill didn't sign with the Broncos just because he has the color orange.
Yeah, that's oh
Jarrett Stidham to the Broncos. That's
that's a tough move. The Bills sign ex-Patriots running back Damon Harris after losing Devin Singletary, who then went to the Texans. Who the Texans also got Dalton Schultz, so a lot of moves there. And they traded Brandon Cooks to the Cowboys.
so
I
many
like the
moves there in a matter of 20 seconds.
I know. So bring it back. The Bills sign Damon Harris.
Yeah, by the way, you just breezed over from a Patriots fan. Gut shot. I fucking love Damian Harris. And seeing that come across my Twitter, fucking Rappaport, I was like, well, wasn't ready for that one. I guess that makes the James Robinson signing makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, definitely does.
Probably they were anticipating Harris on his way out, so they brought Robinson in. Makes a lot more sense. But I love Damian Harris. I mean, like, his discipline and like not discipline, my lack for a better word, but like he had trouble holding on to the ball and stuff like that, and he was kind of getting stopped a bit more. Shtick kind of ran out of like being that power ball running back, but I loved watching him. That run he broke off against Buffalo. Maybe that's why Buffalo brought him in, because they were like, we don't want you fucking doing that to us anymore. But I love the signing for Buffalo. Hate seeing Damian leave because I liked watching him. But anyways, carry on, Hayden.
Yeah, I will. The Texans obviously signed Dalton Schultz and Devin Singletary. I don't know why anyone would sign in Houston. I mean, it's obviously money, but like Devin Singletary, you just became immediately less relevant, and Dalton Schultz just became less relevant in the matter of like a snap.
Yeah. It's going to be week 9, and I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, Singletary's on the Texans.
Yeah, literally. Oh, yeah, he plays there. It's like, damn,
Yeah,
I don't care. Damian Pierce is there. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
We're gonna watch a Thursday night football game with like the Titans and Texans in like week 7, and like insert quarterback Texans draft throws a fade to Dalton Schultz. It's like that's where Dalton Schultz went to. I don't know.
Or it's like, damn, my tight end was just put on IR. Oh, Dalton Schultz, good tight end matchup. Oh, he plays for the Texans now. What the fuck?
Yeah, you're gonna be watching a Cowboys game. It's like, where's Schultz? It's like, oh yeah, wait. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, so speaking of the Texans, they obviously trade for Brandon Cooks, which
traded Brandon Cooks.
what?
Oh, wait. Did you say Texans trade? I heard Texans trade for Brandon Cooks, but you may have said Cowboys trade for Brandon Cooks. That's my.
I think I said Cowboys. Don't quote me on that.
I'm
but
a fucking idiot though. So
either which way, Brandon Cooks is now a Dallas Cowboy. Guy's a suitcase. He's been traded now 4 times. Can't wait till he realizes that the Cowboys just aren't good, and then he wants out. And then that'll be his 5th trade. And he literally will be the definition of a suitcase because he'll be on the plane so much.
yeah,
And then the Raiders sign tight end OJ Howard. They're also looks like they're losing Foster Moreau. So that's a thing. Hard Knocks, I guess, is the last kind of big thing because I don't know if you guys watch it. I watched Detroit's last year just because Detroit, great team, but their 4 teams right now are the Jets, Bears, Saints, and Commanders. I say if Aaron Rodgers signs with the Jets, it'll be the Jets. But then if Dan Snyder sells the Commanders, that could be a thing. If not, it goes Bears and then Saints. Saints are definitely not getting it. They are like the worst team to get it, I'd say.
no, because I want to
no
see
drama.
how I want to see how they reconstruct the cap. I need to get behind those doors to see how they keep fucking doing that.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least the Saints have that going for them. The only Bear storyline I can think of is Justin Fields.
Well, I'm thinking Bears
Chase
more or less
Claypool.
like with what they've done with the first overall pick. Like just how much like Ryan Poles fleeced Carolina.
You know what? It's funny, Jevin, you mentioned about Chase Claypool. Following Chase Claypool on Instagram is weird because, like, dude will be at, like, the nicest restaurant in Chicago, and then, like, 6 months later, he's in, like, an Abbotsford suburb. And it's like, dude, I know what it is. That's off Fraserview. Like,
yeah.
He'll be in like LA or some shit doing some sort of catching drill or whatever, posting up pictures. And then the next he's buying like a car for his dad. And it's like, all right.
Yeah.
Back in Canada, I see.
that car, and he's, like, driving, like, on Highway 1 and takes, like, the 200 Street exit to get into Langley.
You can see Castle Fun Park on the left.
Yeah, and it's like, I know what that is. I know where.
And then he's gonna be like, I always love driving my Sierra thanks to Ford or Chevy or whatever. It's just a sponsored ad driving driving in front of Castle Fun Park. Hey, I did want to say, did we talk about Mike Gesicki last week? I don't think we did.
Oh yeah, the skedaddle comes to New England.
The skedaddle.
That was like the best piece of news that I got when I messaged you, and I was like, I have to just say the skedaddle.
Gesicki is skedaddling over to Foxborough. Let's go, baby.
Boom.
Ian, do you know what we're talking about?
I do. Although I do want to ask the question, like, is he good? Because, like, all I've heard for like the last year,
is.
But like all I've heard for like the last year is like, oh yeah, this like Gesicki does this, Mike McDaniel does this. This is not a fit. He's not gonna work with Miami. And like I also know that New England signed like 2 tight ends like 2 years ago, but although I think Jonnu Smith
got traded, yeah.
Yeah, and Hunter Henry, I don't know if he's still there. He seems like he's still there.
Seems like
a Bill Belichick guy.
He was very solid down the stretch last season.
Absolutely.
So you get those 11 personnel sets or whatever. or 21 personnel with like the 2 tight ends. I don't know. 12 personnel is what I'm thinking of. Pardon me. I'm in hockey season. I'm in hockey mode, not football mode. 12 personnel with the 2 tight end sets. So that way you don't have, to rely on receivers because you don't have that many. Yeah, I like it.
And like last time we had like a really solid, like Bill O'Brien coached a 2 tight end set, right? That's kind of what we were talking about last week with Scott. And I think Mike Gesicki, athletic guy with a red zone threat with Hunter Henry. I mean, I was saying the same shit with Jonnu and Hunter, and obviously we didn't see Jonnu on the field for 90% of his tenure in New England. So hopefully that's not the case with Gesicki. But for the signing, I like it. I like Gesicki coming out of Penn State. So hopefully it works out well.
I also love a good, stick, play, a good stick throw, stick formate, stick,
Breaking in your tongue there?
Motherfucker.
Yeah, breaking in your new tongue? Holy shit. Pick it up on the way home from the airport?
stick and slants. Those are the two.
There it is.
Sorry, I'm still in hockey mode. I haven't gotten into football mode yet.
I mean, that's fair.
That's fair. I respect that. Hayden, you got any more things to get to?
No, I don't. That is actually actually, yeah. We didn't talk about it too because day we uploaded, Jamal Williams is a New Orleans Saint.
Oh yeah. I remember
that is huge.
Holy, that volume peak. Spike. Got so loud I didn't hear you.
Absolutely. I'm so fucking excited for Jamal Williams to be there. Already his pressers, love it.
Goated.
Absolutely love it.
Go presser.
Yeah.
So is he now like the new like Mark Ingram?
Yeah, Mark Ingram's gone. He's so fucking done. I think Alvin Kamara will now be the new Mark Ingram.
Alvin Kamara? Oh gee.
Yeah, no, it's just like, well, obviously you got to think of like Kamara's definitely getting suspended, so Jamal Williams will definitely be going in the first round next year. If you don't, like, that's just a fucking steal. Like getting him in like round 2, I could see being like really, really good. Like if you get, let's say, like Justin Jefferson and then Jamal Williams, bang and start.
I think Jamal Williams will be a second, third round pick in fantasy drafts.
It all depends on Kamara's suspension.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be happening in July for the appeal. So we'll see. But yeah. I really love that move. Absolutely love that move.
Yeah, I think it's really I think it's really solid for sure. He led the league in touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken, or he was like up there 17. In touchdowns. And a lot, like 12 of them were from the 1 yard line. So
13.
Love that. So yeah, I think he's solid though. He broke off some big runs, so I think it'd be good.
I saw like a post and I just fucking died laughing, and it was like Taysom Hill and Jamal Williams at the 1 yard line for New Orleans, and it was like a video of Shaq and Kobe. I was like, oh my god, this is great. Like I think honestly Jamal Williams could be a next jersey buy right there, just because the vibes are so high with him.
Oh, you have to. He's a character.
Absolutely.
He's a character. All right, hey, let's get to this fucking blind draft here.
I agree.
We're getting to our end of the episode segment. Doing a little thing. We haven't been able to do something. We did one last episode with Scott, but the previous ones we were held up due to time. But Ian, we're sucking you in. We're holding you hostage. You're doing a draft with us. But little spin on this, courtesy of a TikTok account that I currently don't have the name of. But
I mean, it's a lot of TikTok accounts, let's be honest.
Yeah, but like the one that I saw that I got inspiration from, I may as well shout them out. But a blind draft. So me and Hayden we have a draft topic. We have all of our picks, but Ian will not know the topic of the draft, and he will have to make his selections based on what me and Hayden are picking and kind of tag along underneath the same umbrella. And Ian will go third so we can kind of get a little idea of what direction we're going. And then at the end, he has to guess on what the draft topic was. And if you get it right, you win absolutely nothing. But if you lose, then you are dumb. So it's basically lose-lose for Ian. Hayden.
For this one, since it's like to help Ian out more, I don't think we should do snake. I think we should do like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2,
Yeah.
3.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what. Thanks for prefacing that. That's what I was planning on doing. So,
Okay, perfect.
Hayden, heads or
Heads.
tails? Hey Siri, heads or tails?
Heads.
I'll go first.
First? All right.
Yeah.
Hayden first, me second, Ian third. And yeah. So we will start this blind draft.
All right. I'm gonna go.
Hayden, are you gonna write this down?
Yeah, I got it.
Cool.
I'm gonna go work.
All right. Work. Good pick. Good pick.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you.
pick.
I don't know. I have no context.
I'm gonna go with a bad round of golf.
All right. Good pick.
All right. Third pick. Might be a little controversial. We'll see. I'll go with school.
Good pick.
Good
Honestly,
pick. Good pick.
Good pick. Good pick.
Yeah. Okay.
Good pick.
With this, I think this is just this just is so hard. Saving up money.
Fair. I like that. Very solid. Very solid. I'm gonna go The Rock getting FBI roles.
All right, Ian. Holy fuck.
Fuck. Okay.
I probably threw a wrench in what Ian was thinking it was.
That was came out of nowhere. I'm going to go with what I still think this is originally about. And I'm gonna say country bars. Because yeah. I'm going with what I originally found as
All right. Solid.
All right. Okay, I'll go with driving in traffic.
Yep. Fair.
Okay.
Solid. I'm gonna go with candles.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Like it is like for me, my bias that makes him pick. Oh, this is I'm gonna still go with what I think this is about. I'm gonna say BC ferries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, how many rounds are we doing? 5?
5.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna go with a bad soccer game.
Yeah. Respectable. For my pick, I'm going Tristan Jari's IR status.
Yeah. Okay.
I got so many different options here. Yeah.
Country bars. Oh, what a pick.
Number 4, I'm gonna say Canadian border security.
Yeah.
If you took off one word, it would have been absolutely fire, Ian. All
Oh,
right.
that's good.
Okay, with mine, I'm gonna kind of this will be the last one, obviously. I will have honorable mentions, but Jev, I like where you're going with the sports. So, uh, to go with mine, I'll say, um, NFL, like any NFL player, getting arrested.
Yeah, yeah. Good pick. Good pick. Good pick. I'm gonna go Snyder Cut Justice League.
Wait, what'd you say?
Snyder Cut Justice League movie.
Oh, okay, okay.
To round out the draft, the Mr. Irrelevant pick. I'll say stepping on Lego.
All right.
All right. Before we let Ian guess,
Let's go through our picks. Let's go through let's round out our picks, Hayden.
love it.
Um,
So with me, I work. I mean, how could you not agree? A bad soccer game, yeah. Saving up money, driving in traffic, and any NFL player getting arrested.
I got a bad round of golf, The Rock, and FBI rules, candles, Tristan Jari's IR status, and Snyder Cut Justice League.
I didn't write down what I said, but I'm pretty sure I said school, country bars, BC ferries, Canadian border security, and stepping on Lego.
Yeah, yeah. Some
All right.
honorable mentions that I had: hitting 0 bets in one session, brushing your teeth, and playing a game of horse.
Yeah, those are good picks. I got a book, McDavid setting records.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of what I had. All right,
Now,
Ian.
with any one of your picks, which one do you think was the closest?
Fuck. I'm gonna say school because you guys sounded like school was like you sound like that sounded like giving like your reaction that sounded right.
Yes, that was very much right. So, going off of that, what do you think this draft was about?
Things you hate or things you despise.
Not bad.
Can allude to that. Yeah, can allude to that.
So this draft was things that feel like they never end.
Oh,
So country bars, I mean,
I hate country music, and I'm guys that checks out. That resonates.
yeah, yeah. And you know what? If you would have just said the Canadian border, 100% agreed.
Yeah.
BC ferries also hits.
Yeah, that's why we were like,
Yeah.
no, solid pick. Yeah, it was solid. But
Yeah.
then when you said stepping on leg, I was like, oh no, he doesn't have it. No.
It kind of does. That pain lasts. You don't forget that. Like, I don't know about you, but like stepping on Lego or like stepping in like accidentally stepping in dog shit too is also the same. Like, fucking damn it. I hate my life.
Yeah.
I want to, yeah.
Hence my pick for The Rock and being in FBI rules, because every movie he's in, he's part of the FBI somehow. And it's like, all right, when is this shtick gonna end? Oh, that was fun. That was good. If you were listening to this, if you made it this far and you got the draft topic right and you were playing along, shout out to you.
Congrats to you.
But Ian, thank you so much for joining this episode. It was great to have you back. We missed you, but let the people know where they can follow you if you're still active on social, if you still want to tag it, where they can find you at Silver Tips Games and shit like that. But yeah, let the people know.
Tips Games. I put in 20,000 steps a fucking game day. I'm all over the place. You follow me Instagram at Ian McNaughton. I think I'm gonna do like once I get a working laptop again, I think I'm gonna do some writing and potting again in the summer when there's not as much going on and I'm not as fucking exhausted like I am on some days.
Naturally.
Check out SYP, Speak Your Piece. Check out the brand at syppod.com. I'm pretty sure Scott just uses that to check people's stories and profiles now. I'm pretty sure that's all what it's useful for any point. Still give it a follow. And you can see me at Silvertips games. We play Friday night in Victoria. If you're in Victoria, I'll be in Victoria Saturday night. And what's our playoff schedule? We're home on the 3rd of April, the 7th of April, and the 10th of April. That's all I know so far.
Fucking rights. Go find the man. Go find the man.
I wear khakis, a polo, and I have hockey player hair.
Nice. Not a big deal. Hayden?
At Hayden_Barton on Instagram and Twitter.
And you can follow me on Instagram at Jevon.Lefave, on Twitter at JevonLefave. Find everything for the show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LeftsideHeavy_. Support the show on YouTube and everywhere else you get your podcasts. It really helps grow the show. Thank you so much for listening. KBNR coming this Friday with the Snacktastic Voyage boys, and we're going to do a couple food drafts and everything like that. Quick little epi. Should be good. So stay tuned for Friday for episode 155, KBNR, whatever the fucking number is. I forget already. But with that, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Ian, thank you so much for coming on. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.